I always like to say I'm like aesthetic mixed with like a bunch of realistic because that's how my mind functions. Today, I'm gonna walk you through my kitchen and also give you a tour, but I'm gonna hit you with 5 added value tips of how I maintain a clutter-free kitchen, how I'm able to be somewhat minimalistic without going off the deep end, and also just how I move and groove in the kitchen. Hi, I'm Natasha. I create food and lifestyle content. You can find all things food, delicious recipes on my page, as well as a sprinkle of home decor, beauty, and lifestyle. So if any of those things sound fascinating and wonderful to you, be sure to smash this like button and also click subscribe, and leave me a comment down below with this emoji if you've made it this far in the video. So the first tip in how I maintain my kitchen and keep it tidy and functional is by decluttering. Easier, more approachable ways to doing something like that is just spending like 2 to 3 minutes in the morning or in the evening to maintain your kitchen. So I'm actually gonna walk you through how I'm able to do that in real time, because the kitchen is in its normal state right now, but it could definitely be a little tidier. So I'm gonna walk you through what I do to keep it clean. All right, y'all, so the first thing I'm gonna do is tackle anything that is in the kitchen sink. So I just have a knife from breakfast. I'm gonna give that a quick hand wash. Most of the time, I just simply put everything in the dishwasher. But because we only have 2 things in the sink, I'm gonna go ahead and just quickly wash that. Now, I have a drying pad instead of an actual like drying dish tray because it forces me to get rid of the clutter. It forces me to keep what's on the dry pad for that moment, get it dried up, put away, and organized. This cabinet is where I put all of my bowls and mostly plates. All right, so now that our dishes are put away and I feel like there's not as much clutter, the next step I do is basically wipe down all surfaces and put away any items that I might have had out from the night before, like Clorox wipes or a spray on top of the counter. I basically try to clear the counter. This is the Method Daily Granite Cleaner, and it's in the scent Apple Orchard. This stuff, y'all, on the counter, everything. So I simply just go in, and I just got this butcher block cutting board, which is basically my prep station. So I like to just take that up, make sure it's nice and clean, doesn't have any crumbs on it, and then I try to clean around the area, just clean up any little spills from the morning. Again, this is something I do at night mostly, and so usually by the morning, everything is good to go. I usually don't have to worry about it too much, but then sometimes after breakfast, we will get into a little messy situation. Counters wipe down the stove, and I'm gonna take you to the next tip. Another thing that I like to do to kind of like keep my kitchen in order and to keep it functional is to create designated zones. Now, this probably means nothing to my husband or my kids, but for me, the person who is the queen of the kitchen, it matters tremendously. So with the zones, I guess that will also double as a tour of the kitchen for you guys. So when you first walk into the kitchen, you kind of have one long like galley, if you will, of countertop space. This is where our sink is. Now the sink to me is where you spend so much time. Our sink is a black workstation sink that I'm obsessed with. This is my prep zone. There is a cutting board that actually came with the sink that I like to use, especially when I'm working with like meat or things that I need to wash and dry. This cutting board right here fits directly into the sink, which I am obsessed with. So our workstation sink is basically station number 1. This is where I do all of my prep, wash vegetables, chop, cut, all of that. This is zone 1, and I think it's really important to do more prep work at the sink if you can. I think it gives a sense of like cleanliness, a sense of order to the kitchen. Definitely buy the accessories that will help with a workstation sink. Amazon has a ton of them that you just have to make sure you measure your sink so that the products can fit into them. But you can get drying racks, cutting boards, all of those things just to like have some sense of organization with your sink to make it a true work area. Zone 2 of the kitchen is our stove. We have a Folger Milano stove, which is a gas stove. I have been working with gas stoves forever. I actually grew up in Florida, and so gas stoves were not a thing. I grew up on an electric stove, but super obsessed with our gas stove because I feel like you can control the heat really, really well. Island is something that we absolutely love. It is our place that we like to gather within the kitchen. Ways that I'm able to also maintain the kitchen, keep it minimalistic in a way, and also just like keep things functional is just maximizing space. So using storage solutions that make sense and doing it in a way that is not overwhelming or too much to maintain. I always like to say I'm like aesthetic mixed with like a bunch of realistic, because that's how my mind functions. And so I'll show you a little bit of the solutions that we use in order to maintain space. This part is decorative. So this is our floating shelves. I love this. This is a part of our kitchen that I definitely try to style and also restyle with the changing seasons. I have my favorite cookbooks. I have some pretty mugs and a few little art pieces, decor elements. We also use this. It's not super organized, but this is where we store a lot of our bigger appliances like our juicer, our blenders, and things of that nature. Zone is just the other side of the kitchen, which is where we have our Folger Milano French door refrigerator. And then we also took out 2 cabinets here as well at the top to do floating shelves. I don't style these floating shelves a ton. I just try to keep them as organized as possible. Again, so welcome to my pantry. Nothing too crazy. We try to keep things organized in the pantry by using some containers when we can. Other times we just keep things in their rightful package, but we try to keep some of the bigger things that we buy a ton of in bulk in containers. And then some of the everyday items, we use these like acrylic containers for storage. So again, nothing like super aesthetic. It's definitely a pantry that could use some work, but it works for us. So I really hope you enjoyed this kitchen tour / tips and tricks on how to maintain your kitchen, how to save space, how to declutter, and overall just like keep your kitchen high vibrations, keep it clean, keep it cute, keep it very demure. But yes, in all seriousness, thank you so much for clicking to watch this video. If you made it this far in the video, leave this emoji in the comments below. And until next time, make sure you click this video and this video to watch more of my home decor content.